New Zealand is trying to undo some of their rushed gun control legislation. The gun control laws in New Zealand took just 6 days to write about 4 years ago and resulted in, at first blush, 56,000 firearms being turned over to the state for destruction. At the time, many gun control nuts in Canada wanted the same sort of speedy, expensive scapegoating of the law-abiding to happen here in Canada. They wondered why. If the New Zealand government could hastily blame everyone for mosque shootings, and if the New Zealand gun owners would agree to that unwarranted blame shaming, why couldn't the Canadian government blame Canadian gun owners for carjackings in Toronto?
Mitch Marner was driving his black Range Rover when 3 suspects, 2 with handguns, 1 with a knife, approached him and carjacked him at gunpoint.
And why couldn't Canadian gun owners just shut up and go along with it? Well, now, 4 years later, things could potentially be rolled back in the totalitarian state of New Zealand. And of course, no one in the mainstream media in Canada wants any of us to notice, because New Zealand has a brand new right-of-centre coalition government. And if the Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, wants to hold on to power, he might need to play ball with his coalition partners, New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters and ACT Party leader David Seymour, who campaigned specifically on amending the gun laws. And Seymour just might get his way. Look at this. Semi-automatics could make a return to gun ranges with New Zealand's firearms laws in for a major shake-up this term. National and ACT agreed to rewrite the Arms Act in place since the early 1980s as part of its coalition agreement. Everything is on the table, including changing the existing licensing regime and reintroducing the military-style weapons used in the March 15th terror attacks. It means starting from scratch, Associate Justice Minister Nicole McKee told RNZ. There's nothing set in stone as we advance this process. The reason why the 1983 Act lasted so long is because there was genuine and good consultation. The Arms Act 1983 has been home to New Zealand's gun laws for the past 4 decades and has had many iterations. McKee said she wanted to change the current licensing system to a graduated system to, quote, enhance public safety, ensuring licensed firearms owners are fit and proper through a graduated system of licensing where people earn trust over time, and a licensing agency carrying out a range of checks is a sensible way of ensuring public safety. Also on the table is allowing competitive shooters to use semi-automatics for sport. The only current exemptions are pest control and disabled collectors' items. Now, back here in Canada, between the carjackings and the bad advice for the carjackings, and of course the revolving door justice system, which lets the carjackers out on no cash bail.
And the number one thing that we hear from our dealers meeting with police and our own meetings is that the revolving door justice system. People are arrested and they're let out the same day. Police are extremely frustrated with this. I know you're hearing from police officials, but I can tell you the line officers, that's what they're frustrated with. And there's also a formula that the police are well aware of, and we certainly see it again across communities, is it's low risk, high reward. These are very valuable assets that are being sold across the world, and thieves are being paid a sum for a handsome reward for stealing the vehicles with a low risk of getting caught and a low risk of severe punishment. And I think if you look at that equation, it's definitely a root of the problem. Organized crime is exploiting it.
It's never been more dangerous to be a Canadian. Will the Justin Trudeau Liberals finally learn that wasting police resources on duck hunters and sport shooters won't fix the gang and drug problem fueling gun violence in Canada's big cities? Will the Liberals ever learn anything? Or will they have to learn the hard way on Election Day? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you want to send a message to Justin Trudeau's Liberals that gun owners in Canada are not the problem fueling crime in Canada's big cities, please go to handsofourguns.ca.